They arrived without ceremony. No banners, no grand escort, just a small, battered ship that looked like it had already survived the training it was coming to take. I stood on the landing platform as it descended, its engines coughing black smoke into the clean, metallic air. Around me, the other instructors whispered, "Those are the humans?" One asked. "Impossible. Deathworlders never pass screening." I said nothing. The hatch opened. The first human stepped out, tall, broad, smiling like he hadn't just crossed a galaxy to die. Behind him came 5 more, ordinary, flesh and confidence. "Recruit Division, Earth Contingent, reporting for training," the lead one said. My wrist pad flashed red. Homeworld classification, Class 12 Deathworld. Estimated pass probability, 0.003%. Recommended interaction protocol, observation only. They weren't supposed to exist outside their toxic world. And yet, here they were, breathing, laughing.
The Galactic Academy of Survival, where the strongest come to prove their worth. Every test designed to break the unbreakable. We've trained acid breathers. We've trained plasma dwellers. We've trained predators that kill for sport. But never humans. The briefing room was cold, clinical. 1,000 eyes watched as the human recruit stood in line. "Failure," I said, "may result in permanent injury or termination." Most species tremble when they hear that. The humans? They laughed. One of them muttered, "Sounds like boot camp, but with worse coffee." And they meant it.
The first test. A world of ice. Temperatures that crack armor. Winds that flay metal. We'd lost 14 recruits here last cycle. The humans stepped onto the frozen plain, wearing light survival suits. For minutes I watched, waiting for panic, waiting for screams. Instead, one of them said, "This is spring weather in Canada." They built a fire, an actual fire from scrap metal and wreckage. Then they sang. Human voices rising through the blizzard like defiance itself. I checked their vitals. Steady. No fear. No stress. Only laughter. "They're enjoying themselves," my technician said. And I realized he was right.
Second test. A biome made of living crystal. Each plant sharp enough to cut bone. The air thick with acid mist. Most species lasted minutes. Humans lasted hours. One was sliced across the arm. He wrapped it with cloth and said, "Just like hiking through Arizona, but shinier." They built shelters, mapped the terrain, even left warning signs for future recruits. They weren't surviving. They were thriving. I wrote in my log, "They have normalized agony."
The endurance gauntlet, gravity spikes, radiation bursts, collapsing terrain. Machines fail this test. Most life forms quit halfway. Humans, they ran through it. They stumbled, they cursed, they laughed. One shouted, "Feels like leg day back home." Another yelled, "Bet I can beat you to the next checkpoint." They weren't fighting to survive, they were competing for fun. Out of 90 recruits, only 8 finished. 6 were human.
The data made no sense. Every simulation,
every test. The humans were adapting faster than we could increase difficulty. I began digging through the archives. The environmental templates used for maximum difficulty had a signature. Atmospheric density, radiation levels, predator behavior patterns, all matched one world. Earth. Our so-called death world was the blueprint for our most extreme training simulations. Every other species had been tested against the natural evolution of humanity's home planet. The humans were simply coming home.
When the final report was submitted, I wrote a single line. We designed the tests to find the galaxy's best. We didn't realize we were testing them against the species that wrote the curriculum. The humans passed every trial, not because they were stronger, not because they were smarter, but because pain, challenge, and chaos were their natural state. To them, adversity is not an obstacle, it's oxygen. They breathe it in, they live for it. It sharpens them, shapes them, defines them. We threw everything at them. Freezing storms, crushing gravity, poisonous jungles, radiation bursts that would shatter the cells of most living things. They didn't flinch. They laughed. They joked. They adapted. I have seen species that evolve over millennia to survive a single environment. Humans? They thrive in every one. Arctic tundra, blazing desert, poisoned city, vacuum of space. Their weakness is simply another puzzle they haven't solved yet.
When one of them falls, another takes their place. When they are outnumbered, they improvise. When they are dying, they find meaning in the fight. I have studied their history now. Wars that should have ended them, they turned into legends. Disasters that should have erased them, they turned into stories of unity. Every scar they carry, they wear like armor. Every loss, they turn into fuel. I used to think the Academy forged the galaxy's elite, but humanity forges itself. Every generation, stronger than the last. Every failure, another lesson burned into their collective memory. There is something terrifyingly beautiful about them, a species that can cry and laugh in the same breath, that can destroy and create with the same hands, that can look into the endless dark of the universe and decide to explore it anyway. Even now I see them across the training fields, their bodies bruised, burned, exhausted, yet they keep moving. One turns to the other and says, "Not bad for a Tuesday." That line has haunted me, because it wasn't arrogance, it was honesty. They don't see these trials as extraordinary. To them, survival is routine, pain is normal, fear is a companion, and the unknown is an invitation. I have concluded my evaluation. The Galactic Academy does not train humans. Humans train the Academy. And as long as they walk among us, the definition of impossible will keep changing. They are the storm that adapts, the spark that endures, the species that refuses to yield. The galaxy built the deadliest training in the universe, and humanity simply called it Tuesday.